Come on, computer. Come on. Enough of this. You've only got less than a day, well, less than a week left of doing live streams. You know, all you gotta do is try. Cubs Out Loud was live 23 hours ago. I was here 23 hours ago. What the fuck? Guess notifications aren't going out then, I guess. I can't see what's happening. There we go. Found it. Found it. There we go. Right, that actually hurt my wrist slightly. I'm live and I can see everything on here, so that's good. I can see the live chat and everything, so that's good. Right. So I do not know how long I'm going to be on tonight. I am actually really tired, and also all day today I haven't done much. I haven't done much. It's still been hot. It's not been as hot as it was yesterday, so yeah. And I did some work, but I didn't. To be honest, my assignment load has been loud. My assignment load has been quite low, so I have not had much to do. So tonight, I basically do not have anything to do tonight. But there's nothing I can do for work, which is fine. But I'm feeling really tired. It's Friday night, so yeah. It's Friday night, right? Well, it's Saturday now, so it's Saturday. Ooh, I'm getting my thing delivered tomorrow, so that's gonna be cool. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really know what I want to do tonight. You know, I might have an early night for me. So yeah. Anyway, Preston's here. How you doing, Preston? It's just me and you right now, I think. So that's cool. But now, what's up? Oh, the beard is bushy. The beard is bushy. It's really annoying when I'm trying to get to sleep, actually, because I'll rest my head on the pillow, and either my hair or my beard will decide to shift. So they're kind of like pulling on my face, and it's just very, very not uncomfortable. It's just a weird feeling. And also, when I wake up, like my beard is flat on one side and poofy on the other. It's weird. But yeah. I keep getting marks on my arm. I bump into stuff. I keep thinking it's a spot or something. But have you seen my furry wolf head? Yes, I think so. Why? I wish I had like a proper furry hood or something, you know. Why does everything cost money? You know. It sucks. Yeah. I'm slightly bummed out by something that happened earlier today. I know this is just this may seem a bit like me focused, but then again, it's my show. Yeah. I made a video. I made the Human Balloon 47 Bob test, which is the battery operated pump test. And I don't know if anybody knows this that will watch this, but I'm a part of a community on Discord that I'm a part of a server that basically also has like an inflation room and stuff. And I thought I wanted to post my video or the link to the video. I basically made the video. I got that particular pump, and I basically made the video because another guy on that community, he essentially has a smaller version because it has smaller batteries in it. He has a small version of the battery operated pump. And basically he posted a couple pictures, so it was kind of like a semi thank you, kind of like a showing people, you know, what my pump, how the test went and stuff. Yeah, so I posted, you know, there's usually lots of activity on that particular channel. So I posted the video, and nothing. And then I basically see somebody did post something, but it was actually somebody else posting a different video, and then everybody talked about that video. So essentially, my video got railroaded by somebody else. It's like yeah. I will say this to anybody who, I don't know why this is bothering me so much, but it does bother me. There's like, I'm kind of proud of how this test went. You know, I think it went quite well, and it's, you know, a whole channel dedicated to inflation, the like and the fetish of it and stuff like that. So I was like, I was already for some, you know, a little bit of instant gratification by people saying like that, you know, great test, really like the pump, good work, kind of thing, but nothing. It's been up for like a day and a half now, and it's bugging me way more than I think it should. I don't know why. I don't know. But yeah. So if anybody is part of a Discord community, if somebody posts a picture, and you're about to post a picture yourself, then comment on their picture. If you see that there's no comments, just comment on their picture. It makes the person feel way better than if you just post your stuff, because it kind of looks like you're trying to steal their thunder a little bit. It kind of looks like well, it kind of makes the person feel that they're being a little bit ignored and stuff if you don't, and it's just common courtesy. I've got a gnat bite on my forehead. Really? So yeah. Like I said, this bothers me way more than I think it should, but it is bothering me for some reason. I was just curious. I would love to make a whole entire outfit out of it. It's not hard. Basically, you just you get a fuzzy onesie. It's not that hard. Yeah. How was my day? Like I said, it's been a pretty uneventful day. I just haven't done much. It's been too hot to basically work in here. It has been okay though. I have been able to. Yeah, you can see it on camera. It's just that whatever that is, it's a gnat bite. It's not a spot or anything, because I just squeezed the fucker and nothing happened, and it's kind of hurting. It's irritating, like a mosquito bite. yeah, I haven't done anything today. We went shopping. We went to the supermarket. Me and Damon went to the supermarket like a couple hours ago. The freezers broke down. It was so hot. The actual refrigerators, apart from I'm guessing they're stockroom refrigerators, basically they overheated and shut down. Why? So yeah, I was all psyched because tonight was going to be the night where I basically I had a nice big dinner, and I had I was going to test out the melted ice cream in the funnel. So yeah, no ice cream though, because the freezers were broken down in our local supermarket, and essentially it's, the ice cream is stored in freezers, so it was stored in their main big freezers but not their shelf freezers. So essentially they couldn't show anybody the ice cream. So yeah, we did have actually got we had some milk and stuff. They seem to have what some of the coolers were in front of the store. So yeah. um But yeah, I was going to ask you guys, in fact, if basically you wanted to see me finish off this beer that's in here, the funnel, because I don't know, I don't know if I want to. I'm not fussed either way. I don't have the real strong urge to do it, especially if I'm going to go to bed soon, because you know, there's basically I kind of want to have that beer, um, but there are downsides because I will not be able to go to bed soon because I will need to pee lots. Um, it makes me have pee dreams if I basically have a lot of alcohol. If I have a gallon of alcohol, it makes me have pee dreams. And if anybody knows, by the way, a pee dream is when you basically have a dream where you have to go to the bathroom, but you can't. But for some reason you can't. So you just push harder to try to go to the bathroom. And then sometimes you succeed because, and when you do succeed in going to the bathroom, you actually pee in the real world, not just in your dream. So yeah, basically I wet the bed if I go to bed immediately after having a drink, a lot of drink, then basically a lot of alcohol, then yeah, it happens to me a lot. Well, I normally wake up. It normally wakes me up because it's like, suddenly I'm like, why was that so hard to pee? It's like I'm in a pee. Oh fuck! And then that wakes me up. Usually that's what happens. So before I actually wet the bed, I normally just end up with a damp underpants, damp pajamas, and that's it. But it's still annoying, isn't it? So yeah. But I don't know exactly how I'm feeling. I don't know if I am gonna feel sleepy after this or what. So, like I said, I'm leaving it up to you guys. I kind of don't really. I kind of don't care. I've gone past a lot today. So yeah. Hey Jeffers. He says, "Hey Tubbs, great big hugs and many snuggles, and oh my god, that video with you and Damon is so damn cute. You're both so handsome, snuggle bears." Yeah, me and Damon. I love him. He loves me. It's super nice. Oh, irritatingly. Sorry, Preston. I was like, what is that word? That is a new word that I do not know, but dyslexia powers. I was like, irritating? What is it? Irritating. Irritatingly. Right. My brain was like, yay, I know words. Jeffy says, wow, that's terrible terms of all times for that to happen. Well, it was crazy hot. That makes sense, really. At least we got some milk, so I can have cereals. I'm glad that we can have cereals. My eye has been goopy all day. You know, just in the corner, I keep getting random bit of goop happen. And I don't know if it's the heat or if it's the fatigue, but a tiny bit of thunder happening. So, sorry, by the way, if the stream cuts out. It seems that yesterday, whenever we had thunder, the internet went down almost after each individual strike. It's basically because of ionization in the atmosphere, because it's too fucking hot. So yeah, I've actually got the fan off right now, and that's only because I'm testing it, because it's actually cool outside right now. Just poke the button, tells me how. Yeah, it's not bad. It's 25 degrees outside right now, so that's nothing compared to 45 degrees. So yeah, was that at Tesco's, Tubbs? Yes, it was. It was at a Tesco. It was at a Tesco. Although in Britain we do call it Tesco's. So Tesco's. It was at a Tesco. It's we basically have one that's kind of local to us. It's in the town, actually in the town, because I live on the village that's outside of the town. So yeah, that's all right, Tubbs. You can do it another time. Well, okay. I kind of want to have like I kind of want to have a little party kind of thing. You know, I want the hot tub up. That way I can drink the beers and have my other asylum cigar that does not fit into my humidor, and have my ice cream. Maybe have some burgers. You know, but yeah, I just don't know what to do with myself right now, and this is really irritating. Your hair looks great. It's not bad. I basically had a hat on, so it basically is now it's staying down. For when I was in the store. All about the hair. All about the hair. Preston says you're wearing a tank top color white. Why are you talking like a robot? I think that also that you also have a black tank top. I don't. I like wearing tanks shirts in the summer. Seriously, Preston, did you get replaced by a robot? Is the AI uprising happening already? Should I be worried? So it's really funny. It's, you know, my brain is like, you're wearing a tank top, color white. I think I also have a black tank top. Question mark. I also wear tanks shirts in the summer. You know, it's very sorry. Yeah. FMF, you're always surprised. It's actually not that big. This is okay. This is an 80. It's an 80 ring, so it's the same size as the one. It's the same cigar practically, as the one that I had in the padded piggy one. Yeah, I basically don't like anything that's under the 70 ring because it just doesn't feel right. It basically it doesn't feel right. It doesn't draw as good, and it basically doesn't last as long. So, so that's an 80 ring, and I usually have like a 70 ring, so it's a little bit smaller usually. But that's what everybody says. Jeffy says, "Oh yes, Tubbs, that sounds great to me too. It would be awesome. Please, can I have a party right now?" Yes, I agree with that. Person says, "Lol, sorry for being weird, but I'm actually weird as is, and I love embracing my weirdness." That's fine. I didn't say you were being weird. It's just that that seemed a bit out of character. That you were, like I said, you were talking like a robot. I've not witnessed this happen before. You know, it's out. It's a little bit out of character. That's why I brought it up. I wasn't saying, you know, that I hate you or anything because you're weird. I was actually saying it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I'm not a robot, I swear. It's okay. 800 ring would just be a barrel of tobacco, I guess. I have seen. They do have the 100s, and I've seen 120, and it basically is like you have to be. It's as thick as yeah, it's as thick as that. I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to find an example, but basically it's like my glasses that I have my drink in normally. But I've just the one day I actually have a smaller glass. I have a shorter glass, and this is way wider. So yeah, but I haven't seen anything that's above that. But yeah, I saw one guy trying to have one of the 120s, yeah, in Vegas. It was quite amusing. Like, how would you get anything else around? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's just weird. But yeah, general rule. I know you've probably heard me say this as FMF, but just general rule is that the ring gauge, the how thick a cigar is, usually matches the person's waist size and stuff. Otherwise, that's at least how it was supposed to be in the Edwardian times. Is that basically if you have anything that's under your waist size, then it's a cigarette. So yeah, my uncle told me this a while ago, but then I read it somewhere else, and I was like, oh, okay, he wasn't lying. So yeah, so I don't know what my uncle, how big around my uncle was, but basically, yeah, he used to have 80s all the time. But yeah, I normally like just the 70s, like I said. You know, just around that mark, because then anything bigger does look weird as well. It's not just things that are smaller; it's things that are bigger as well. It's just weird. Like anything small, like I said, anything smaller than 70s kind of just feel a bit. They don't last as long. You know, they just don't last as long. Anyway, actually, I don't mind talking about this. um, if I'm not going to do the funnel thing, then I'm not going to be on for much for super long tonight. So yeah. I did have something that I wanted to kind of like suggest, but it's just a very very general idea. I don't know if anybody will like give a shit, but yeah, might have to turn the fan on though. It is actually getting warm in here. I keep noticing stiffness today. Oh god. Just around my neck area seems to be kind of like, just, I don't know. Maybe I already just didn't sleep well. I feel like it did. But right, since it's gone a bit quiet, something to discuss, I guess. Yeah. So a few bears, I know a few bears who basically run their own websites, and these websites basically they usually video hosting. They basically host their own videos on their own like mini server on their websites, or they sell stuff in like socks or underpants and stuff like that. And I'm getting a little bit desperate. Just a little bit desperate. I kind of want to do that, but I don't think I actually have the clout. You know, I don't really have the self-confidence, I guess. I'm not that. People keep telling me that it's a thing. I have a very like oh god damn it, I can't talk now. Degrading? No. Deprivating seems to be the wrong word. Doesn't matter. I basically got a weird sense of humor, and I don't think that I'm kind of worthy of basically having my own website and stuff. But then again, I didn't think I was worthy of it was going to be worth it to actually make a YouTube channel, Discord server. Although I can point to things that have actually been failures, like the OnlyFans page, Patreon, you know, anything, any time when I basically wanted to be compensated for some of this fun work that I do. It's usually been a failure. So I don't know. Like I said, it's just an idea. It's a thought. I could easily set this up, but I did have there is a secondary thought, and I'll get into that after I read the comment, because FMF wrote something. He says, in my fantasy book that I'm trying to write, there will be a useful piece of that will be a useful piece of trivia, because some of the characters will smoke cigars. Okay, fantasy book. I heard you were writing something. I can't remember if you told me or if I've just seen it somewhere before or read it somewhere before. But yeah. Well, if you need any like hands-on experience, kind of someone to talk to about any of this stuff, then I'm ready and willing. I sounded really whiny. I'm ready and willing. Sorry. I'm in a very weird mood tonight. I'm not really depressed. I'm not really angry, but I'm definitely not happy. I'm just very meh. So yeah. Basically, I'm kind of figuring out that again, this might just be me and my low self-confidence and stuff, but I kind of figured that I might want to do something like this with somebody. And I haven't asked him yet because, like I said, I'm kind of just getting the idea together. But I was going to actually ask New Bear, if maybe he'd want to do something like that, because he's kind of looking for a way to kind of not sell out but charge money, and he absolutely hates the whole charging people money for his videos idea. But I said to him, and he seems to have taken that on board. Maybe that he might do something like this. Maybe opening up Patreon, or basically putting out videos and then charging people for them if they want to see it right now, and then releasing them for free in like a month's time or something. But yeah, maybe basically like kind of, oh, this sounds terrible, kind of testing this out with Newbie, and also this, you know, basically kind of gives me a job as well, because if he wants to, then I could edit his videos and stuff for him, especially since I've got all the stuff. I've got all of the software on my computer. So, like I said, I'm thinking about it. I wanted your guys' opinion, and of course I'm gonna talk to Newbie at some stage. But what do you think? You know? I might quiz you about cigar etiquette sometime. Well, the thing is that it's so uncommon in the UK, especially, that I kind of don't know much. It's kind of a thing. I'm very courteous. I'm a very courteous smoker. Whenever I have my pipe or anything, you know, I go to the smoking area, or basically if I'm in the middle of a field, or like just there's people around me. If there's people around me, I either just don't, or basically I ask the people around me if they mind, and sometimes they do. So yeah. But yeah, I don't really. The whole cigar thing. I basically. Outside of a pub, or at a friend's house, or in the hot tub, I basically don't have that much experience, you know, with etiquette, you know, official etiquette and stuff like that. Besides just general being politeness. So yeah, but I mean, if you have questions, I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Anyway. Well, here's many more hugs and snuggles to help you feel better. Again, I'm not, guys. I'm not really kind of. I'm not feeling down. It's just kind of. I'm very neutral right now. It's just not really. Yeah. I'm fine. But that's it. That's the problem. I'm just fine. I'm not really happy, but I'm not sad. So you can see that's a positive. But I can't. But nothing really that I can be happy about. You know, it's a weird thing. It's very weird. What is meh? That's what I'm trying to explain. You know how how am I feeling emotionally right now? There, meh. It's kind of a state of like it doesn't really matter. You know, it's kind of like a moot point. You know, it's a null question. It doesn't really matter. That's what meh is. You know, I don't know the official agreement, the official definition, but that's basically how I'm feeling. Undefinable neutralness. Okay, tiny spiders, could you not just be right in front of my face? I know I'm looking crazy, but it does not show up on camera because it's so small. But it's not coming back, is it? Just blew it over there. But there was a spider, like, right where my finger is. So it would be on shot, but it's just, like I said, it's a dot. Just came off the ceiling, right in front of my face. So, yeah. Preston says like this, and then there's an emoji. I guess. He says feel better soon. Why not feel better right now? You know. Jeffrey says that sounds like a neat idea. Jeffrey, I get it. I get that you like me. You know, I like you too. But you can say something negative to me if it's really a bad idea. Then I'm okay with hearing that. You know. You know me in honesty. And too much about the honesty. Yeah. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to sit on this because, like, you know, we have a server. We have a server here, so there's no, you know, paying for a server, paying for server space somewhere. It's not a big deal. So essentially, from this house, I could easily host a website and have it be with videos and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh, it does mean that I've got to upload all of my videos eventually to that as well. Oh god. Oh, excuse me. FMS says, I've always defined meh as a slightly disagreeable feeling of neutrality. Not terrible, but a minor discontent to stay. Well, that's kind of it. I think it should be meh. You know, it's kind of like a French thing. It's a French sounding word. It's meh. You know, not my entire hell. You know, kind of like purgatory. I'm in emotional purgatory. That's kind of what it is. I've been having fun with basically just typing stuff, just posting random shit on Twitter, just like today. Included something that was like a really corny thought. One particular, I basically used up all of the character limit on Twitter. But yeah, doesn't matter. That's really loud. I don't know why that's gotten really loud. So yeah. Okay, people learn something new every day. People do, generally. Which is also true. Okay. Maybe I am the robot. Am I data or am I law? Oh god. I can't really I've never been a fan of Data, like, at all. Which is weird because he's just the kind of, like, you know, funny, you know, he's it's just the kind of character that I usually would gravitate towards, you know, just that there's something different but cool about them. To be my favorite character, it's like, but then again, there's Geordie, and I kind of like Geordie. Plus, he's actually quite short, and I kind of find that slightly attractive. But rewinding. I'm going through the sci-fi series in my head, and I'm like, who is my favorite character in this and that and all that stuff? And it's like, it's normally a mechanic. It's normally a mechanic. I mean, there's Kaylee from Firefly. So I had a crush on Jewel Estate for the longest time. So I was imagining naughty things, kind of. Yeah. Sorry, Jewel. Sorry. She's amazingly super awesome. You know, I'd say that she's super lovely and just a very nice person and stuff like that. But no, she's actually just awesome. She's a great person. She's fun, funny. She loves rock music, like proper heavy metal stuff. Oh god, she's a badass. But then again, so is yeah, so is Amanda Tapping. I like Amanda Tapping as well, but then again, she's quite old for me. She's an awesome lady, and she is very pretty in certain stuff, but basically I don't know. I think she's older than Damon. I don't know where my line is, you know. I don't know. Age isn't really that important, to be honest, as long as it's the upwards bit, because, you know, it's a bit creepy when it's a lot younger. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up. I have pushed my off button internally, so. Think of something else. Think of something. Oh, something's been peeing outside my office. Again. Just a hint of urine. Not strong, but it's there. There's either a very large cat or a fox that basically was peeing outside of my office to basically claim the garden as its territory. Somebody told me that I should go pee out there as well, just to say that this is already another animal's territory, and I considered it, but then I was like, also, like, I didn't want my neighbors to see me peeing in the back garden. As long as it isn't werewolves. At least that would be interesting. But yeah. I just thought, oh damn it. FMF, I was actually gonna say, you know, it's like, no, I told you I'm not gonna go pee out there. And then I was like, oh no, don't give away your big secret. You know. Now, because I've said heavy metal back then, I'm imagining the actual. Does anybody remember the film, the animated rotoscope film, Heavy Metal? Oof. Bad, but good. It's badly good. It's goodly bad. You know, it's one of those films where it's like the quality, yeah, oh, it's shit. But just got the but that's stuck in my head now, which is awesome. Thank you, FMF. I'm glad somebody does. It might actually get this live stream taken down, but like I said, it's not going to be a long one. I'm probably only going to be for another 15 minutes or so, maybe. Please give me things to talk about, please. So I'm trying to find the actual song. Do you know what it's called? Oh wait, Taking a Ride. Don't fail the heavy metal Taking a Ride. No, that's a different one. Oh, that's the one from South Park. It is the song. I know why it's stuck in my head. It's because I actually played this. I actually tried. It's one of the first songs that I basically managed to play all the way through on guitar. Yeah, this video is going to be taken down. Yeah. The animals can't stake out their territory around your office. Exactly. Well, they're trying. Because I smell pee. What is your opinion on the trope of a ship developing a personality or soul? I've used that. I if it's for a good reason, I love it. I love Mother. You know, where it's kind of like the ship's silent caretaker, really, more than it is an actual thing. You know, the parental deck and everything in Aliens, and Alien is just it's awesome. I love it. I think that it's basically another character. I like the idea of it being another character, kind of Andromeda-esque, where it's basically got its own robot and everything. I kind of like it. I like the idea. It's you personified the ship, and it's kind of, yeah, it should be that way. You should personify the ship. I love the idea. I don't like how a lot of the shows go about it. Like I said, it should be either fully all in. Like, is it called Remy in Andromeda? The robot lady, like that, or it should be, you know, at the very minimalistic approach of Alien, when they have Mother. I love that. I do. It's kind of, yeah, but yeah. Oh, FMF in Andromeda, they've got because Andromeda is massive. Oh my god. Andromeda's huge, and the Andromeda ship, the ship from Andromeda, the Andromeda, is bigly big. It's crazy big. There's no way of describing it. It's just huge. Basically, all of its internal admin tasks are done by robots that basically just walk around the ship and kind of like fix things. You know, they're maintenance droids, Astro mechs. They're all R2s, but there's one of these droids is basically fitted to be like a person. It's fitted out to be you know, have the appearance of a human, to basically talk to people about the ship. And yeah, it's called Remy, and it's cool. I like the idea. It's a neat idea. It's basically an android. That's all it is. It's just an android that is hooked up to the ship. It's just that the android itself always refers to itself as basically being Andromeda, as basically being the ship. You know, like you know, when something's wrong with the ship, she's like, somebody's rewriting the electrical system, or like somebody's rerouting power through my, you know, through the main conduits of the ship. And it's like, instead of saying the ship, she says of me. You know, it's like, it's a little bit weird, because you don't know whether she's talking about the robot her or the ship, and it's a little bit annoying sometimes. But I kind of can settle with being annoyed every now and again with the whole kind of like the characteristics and stuff. It's cool. It's a neat idea. Like I said, it depends how it's brought about. It's kind of a thing. Like my science fiction race, the Taraxians. I've talked about them before. They're basically, you know, they're kind of, there is nothing wrong with them. They are like a perfect society of aliens. It's a neat idea. The Taraxians themselves actually consist of 3 individual races, and one of them is AI. Is like ships. You know, they are the AIs of ships, of the Taraxian ships. And essentially this came out because the Taraxian homeworld was destroyed, and the Taraxians became a colonial ship kind of civilization. They kind of wandered around for about 2 to 5,000 years or something in these ships, and improved on the artificial intelligence of the ships themselves, and put a bunch of their memories, and you know, they used the computer for everything, like everybody did. Eventually they basically built personality and actual true AI, and essentially it kind of was a thing. So their ships became alive. So it was a thing. So yeah, We have lost everybody, I think, because we've gone down to 2 people watching. One of them's me, so yeah. I'm gonna leave early. Sorry, guys, says Preston. Why? You don't have to tell me why. I can guess. But he's probably gone already. But if you are still here, hit a button. But I haven't seen Andromeda. I've already read that, so I must have skipped that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Just the heavy metal part. Just. It's your one-way ticket to meet. God damn it. I can't remember the name of that song either. Stop it. Stop it. God, what is the name of that song? No, it's not Highway to Hell. Stop it, brain. Yeah, it is called just One-Way Ticket to Midnight.
One of the exciting things about running and teaching a sushi class.
That's not it. Where did that go? Damn it, I can't find it now. I'm going the literal route where the ship develops a soul and starts being able to move itself through magic. Nope. Nope. Magic. Nope. You know, get the fantasy away from my science fiction, please. So I am one of those people. I can't help it. You know, you can't. Lord of the Rings is not sci-fi. It's only sci-fi if you say science and fiction, not science fiction. You know. Sorry. Please don't leave me because because I said that. But I can't help it. You know. I don't mind people talking about magic and stuff, but once you get into space, it becomes a little bit annoying to me for some reasons. It's like the whole I was going to say astrology thing. Yeah, it is like the whole astrology thing. The astrology thing and the astronomy, they're not the same thing. They hurt astronomers' brains when you go up to them and say, "So, what does that mean about star signs?" You know, some of them might punch you. I know one that will. I know one that cannot take it. I know one that just can't. Yeah. You know what they've started doing? They've actually started doing this in like a lot of anime shows. They'll basically, you know, they'll say, "Oh, it was like the soul in the machine. Like this machine allows people's souls to be transmitted through space and stuff like that." I hate that. It's yeah. Like they believed in it so much that through their determination, they were able to like move their mech suit without being plugged into it properly. Oh god. It just hurts, you know. Like I said, it is very much that, yeah. Just like there's sci-fi and then there's fantasy fiction, and it's kind of like you just move that over there. Okay. I'll take this. You know. Well, I'm writing a fantasy novel, so there's going to be a fantasy in it. That's cool. I'm really worried you're going to say that there's going to be spaceships in it now, because I don't know how to react. It's like on Babylon 5. Now this is going to go on a huge diversion for anybody who, well, a lot of people who probably haven't watched Babylon 5. They have these people in Babylon 5 every now and again, and they're called techno mages. Now, techno mages are kind of, you know, what they do can appear to be magical, but what it is just incredibly advanced and roundabout ways of using technology to make it appear that magic stuff has happened. But like I said, they aren't magic. That, you know, it's very clear that they're not magic. They try to wink and nod at the fact that it's like, well, you know, maybe it was magic. You don't know. And it's like, but we do know. It's your whole bit. It's your whole existence is basically tricking people into thinking that you might be magic. Okay. I'm not tricked. Nobody here is tricked. So it's like that. I kind of would believe that it's the Thor thing. It's the Thor thing. You know, it's the Marvel as Guardian thing. I'm willing to believe that basically people can think of some stuff as being magic and stuff, but only in the sense that it's science that they don't understand yet. You know? So yeah. I know you're writing a fantasy novel, and I will keep that in mind. There's a thing. I don't know if you know Bloom Blower Mike, BBM, Bloom Blower Mike. He basically wrote a entire like a really nice kind of basically a novel of it's kind of inflation fiction. It's kind of like you know, yeah, it's set in kind of a semi-steampunk kind of world. That is actually awesome, and I'd love to live in it. But he kind of did like a prequel to it. Well, he did a sequel to it and a prequel to it and an interlude and everything. So there's a lot of material there, and it's fascinating because there is magic in it. However, there's also, you know, it's set kind of in our universe, just kind of a little bit in the past, and it's kind of an alternate universe. And also they explain it like the magic is just science that we don't understand yet, you know? And I like that. Because if you go full Hogwarts, then I can't take it seriously. And I'm okay with not taking it seriously. I watched, I read Harry Potter up until the third, fourth, fifth book before they became this thick. I was able to take it not seriously, but I read it and I enjoyed it up until it tried to take itself very seriously. But then I was like, no. So yeah, it kind of depends. It depends on what the story is. Well, Babylon 5 had telepaths, so there was some magic to the series. Yeah, but that's only because they kind of believed that telepaths could actually be a thing back then. Telepathic communication is not possible. I'd love it to be possible, but it's like it's sort of the thing. It's kind of like yeah. There'd have to be another. Not going to go into quantum physics. There's actually a thing that actually enables telepathy to be possible, but it's so incredibly convoluted and complicated that I'm not going to go into it. It involves like fields and stuff like that. Oh my god. So yeah. So and the ship that grows a soul is a seafaring vessel, not a starship. Same thing. I might be okay with it. I might be. It depends how it's done. It does depend on how it's done. I don't know what the setting is going to be like. I don't know what I don't know anything about this. So yeah. I do not know who this is, but they're just saying belly lots. So I do not know what that means. Am I going to regret this? Just checking the person's channel out. They are a dog. I'm okay with dog people. I'm a dog person. So, okay. Well, there's a sci-fi universe I am writing as well with no magic, but that is years out from even beginning. Okay. Neat. I can't really comment on it because you're not really giving me much, like I said, it would have to. It all depends on. Oh, god damn it! I keep getting a random spot like here and up my arm and now on the side here. It's great. Like I said, it depends how it's done. It's just that it might be. It depends how it's done. I don't know. I don't know how it relates to the story and stuff. And like I said, anyway, it's just the whole. The thing with like souls and spirits. I kind of don't believe in any of that stuff, and I find it hard to take seriously in a story. However, I can buy that there is kind of like an energy field that is connected to another energy field, and then that is also kind of that's that thing's spirit. You know what I mean? I could kind of frame it in a narrative sense, so that it's basically I could get into it. You know, it just has to be not magic. Yeah, it's a thing, but it's just my thing. This is just my opinion. Everybody has their opinion, you know. Like I said, there was magic in Bloomberg Mike's story, Cavalcade or something. I'm trying to remember the name of the story. And I love that universe. In fact, you know, having talked to Bloomberg Mike and done illustrations for that series, only one character, but he liked them. Imolf. I can't remember his name. The character I drew. But yeah, he basically said that I could totally, you know, if he wrote any more in this universe, then he would totally include me in it, and I would be so up for that. I would love to be in that universe. It's kind of an Edwardian, steampunky fantasy universe that's just really so me. The book I'm currently working on is a steam fantasy. Magic is treated like a science, but stuff like souls and spirits exist because there is a god that created souls and magic. It is full on fantasy. Okay, I get it. But you see, look, like potentially the real god, if this is a thing, you know, that god might be an alien, a programmer, who knows? It's fucking you. You're writing the story. So yeah, it's a thing. It just depends on how I'm gonna read it. If you let me read it. So yeah. Sounds cool though. You know, souls and spirits and stuff existed in this, you know, the stories that I'm talking about as well. But like I said, they were scientifically explained. So I'm cool with that. I feel like I'm trying to have an argument, and I'm really not. You know, I get what you're saying. It's okay. You don't have to explain it anymore. I'm trying to. I feel like I'm being a bit mean here. I'm trying not to be, honest. If anything, I'm actually like excited to maybe read this. You have reminded me that I've got to finish. I've got to finish my Fur Affinity story for Itchy because I've got a couple of like things lined up because I've got a gift for Itchy. But also, when I was sick, I wrote a little mini story. I wrote a couple of mini stories, and one of them was for Itchy, but I never actually finished it yet. Because when I'm not sick, I find it really hard to concentrate on actually finishing writing. That isn't work because that's one of my jobs. Is basically I write reports and what was I saying? I write reports and stuff for work. So yeah. You know. But yeah, you have reminded me that I've got to do that particular story. That particular story contains it's a furry story, so there's furs. Contains air inflation, water inflation, and maybe even sex. I haven't really decided if that bit's going in because that's the next bit of the story that I'm supposed to write. So yeah. Well, it goes have a. I think you mean does. It does have a gainer race. They pack on weight for the winter like bears, so they will be another barely disguised fetish material. You see, you say that as if it's a weird thing, but in my actual, in my actual job, when I pitched the Twaxians and stuff like that, one of the seed races that they'd made are called the Karoo, and they are all about. They're humanoid, disproportionately male. There's a lot more men than there is females, and the men are all tubby and short, and they are very much like the raccoon people, in which they actually use their bellies as drums and can inflate themselves to basically change the sound of the drum. So yeah, it's a whole thing. You're not the first person to basically input a little bit of what they like into their stories. They're actually really cute. But most of them are bored, and they have they literally are people. They literally are just short, fat humans. They all have moustaches, and they've got a different tattoo on their chin for that. That kind of makes like a goatee appearance and stuff like that. So yeah, you're not the first person to basically input something that you're interested in into a story. Happens all the time. Look at Lilo and Stitch. Crazy. Sounds funny though. There's lots of ways that you can put gaining into stories. You can basically have it so that, like, in this universe, they've got the ancient Germanic tradition of the larger the man, the more he is head of that household. So you have these like fat guys basically being heads of household because they are simply just fed more. So yeah, you can put tons of it in. There are lots of ways of this. Just just check all of the places where you can find gainer fiction. There's lots of ways. So yeah, Jeffrey's here. He says, "Hey Tubbs, I'm back. So sorry I had a phone call. It's okay. I'm not going to be that much. I'm not going to be on for much longer. I was going to leave at 1 a.m. and it's now 1:30. So." Al says, "Can you inflate your belly?" I can. Yes, I can do that. Jeffrey says, "Tubbs just posted some inflation videos. You should watch them." That is true. Yeah, if you're interested in my inflation channel, then there's an inflatable Tubbs channel. It's actually called Inflatable Tubbs. So enjoy. Yeah. In the very brief time when I tried to be a writer, when I actually worked as an illustrator, and the publishers basically were like, I was hoping that I was going to be given a shot to basically just sell a story that I wanted to tell, and I had kind of like a ghosts in space kind of idea, and I remember accidentally writing in that there's a big Russian berry character, and he sneaks beer on board, and basically he drinks some of the beer, and it's like there's a big problem that happens in 0G. If you drink something that's carbonated, when 0G happens, or simulated 0G, your body can't really get rid of the gas. Basically, his round tummy slightly inflated a little bit because they lost the station went into 0G. It stopped rotating. So, it was just for me, just that one scene for me, where there was like a big panic and like people trying to like squeeze his belly and stuff like that, and trying to get him out of his spacesuit. I'm not proud of it, okay? I literally wrote it in there just so that lots of people would have to touch the big Russian bear. It's actually a cool scene in there where one character has to jump in without a spacesuit from one part of the space station to another. And at the time, this has been done to death a lot. At the time, it hadn't been a thing, and then Sunshine came out, or whatever that film was called. I think it's Sunshine, and then basically there's a scene in which that basically happens. But I was like, they stole my idea. So yeah. That sounds like a neat story, Tubbs. It wasn't bad. It lacked real polish. You know, I wasn't a writer. I wanted a chance. You know, I figured that maybe I could. I gave it a try. I gave it a shot. And I couldn't deal with like a deadline because I hate deadlines. That's the thing. That's one of the good things about my job at the moment is that apart from the proofreading stuff, which does have to be done by a certain time, actually the assignments that I take in, I basically don't have deadlines, but they prefer you to do it by a certain date. And yeah. So in other words, you can just not do it for a while, and then somebody else will pick it up if you basically just leave it. So yeah, that is really annoying though, when they basically like you're actually working on something and typing something up, and all of a sudden I get an email saying it's like you know, you've gone past your extended date and everything. We've got somebody else working on this thing with you now, so it's not taken away from you. And then basically, you know, could you please put all of the material that you've done in researching this thing, and anything that you've got, and like dump it on them for a little while, so that they can at least read it and catch up and stuff, which nobody ever does. I've noticed this. Nobody ever does. It's like, you know, it's like, do you even want my Dropbox information, or are you gonna just not read this? Because I could basically just catch you up on the thing that I'm researching, you know. So yeah, I've forgotten where I was going with it. Oh yeah, I can't actually be a writer. I can't. Like I said, I can't deal with the deadline stuff. But yeah, there's a whole big thing to do with like the next generation of the International Space Station, and the fact that it's actually a cannibalized version of the current International Space Station and other nations. There's like other nations space stations that they put in orbit, and it's also bigger because basically it's supposed to be in the future. It's actually like 2025, so yeah. But what basically happens in it is that they actually find there was like a long-ish time ago, this character, the main character, who's a woman, who lost her one of her parents in kind of they just lost contact with her like father's. I can't remember if it was her father or her mother, but basically they lost contact with a new segment, an entirely huge segment of a space station segment that was going to go up there. It was one of the first larger segments of the new space station. But part of the whole idea of the station is that it kind of is almost like anybody can add to it. So so they basically find this creepy extra segment, and it turns out that like there's nobody on it. It's pristine, but it is the segment that everybody lost contact. Even the escape pods are still intact. Everything's fine with it. It basically is fine, and essentially they kind of like connect it to their station, and then creepy weird stuff starts happening on the station. That's kind of was the whole premise. Like I said, though, I didn't finish it, so yeah, but there was like just different ways that you can die on a space station, you know. I was actually having fun. I remember having fun basically writing people's backstories and stuff, especially the bear guy. But then again, what can you do? I kind of want to tell you the ending, because I did have like a weird kind of a very weird ending. It's just very weird ending. Because like I said, it's supposed to be a ghost story in space, but in fact what it is it's you know, subverting expectations kind of thing. Okay, I'll tell you guys, since it's not really a story that's ever going to come out soon. After, you know, lots of random shit happens to all of these, all of the almost every single one of the crew. Basically every single one of the crew, except for one person, is essentially kind of like is randomly, you know, that they've had stuff happen to them which nearly kills them. In two cases, it actually does kill them, and it all happens apart from this one lady. This the one of the you know, the main character. Honestly, I can't remember her name. I swear to God. And they think it's because basically her parent was part of the crew for this particular segment of the space station that went missing. By the way, I know the absurdity of a thing going missing in space, but at the time I didn't know that NASA would track it, like visually track it and everything. I literally only assumed that they basically radio tracked everything up there, because yeah. It's not ghosts. Basically, she starts to think that it's, you know, her parent is protecting her, like, or that there's ghosts on this segment, but her parent is protecting her from the other ghosts, because none of the other people that are on the station are related to anybody that was on that particular segment when it went when it lost contact. And I'm gonna just reveal the twist here, because it's, again, it's a story that's never going to be just finished. It's actually the computer. So it's not a ghost, but it's actually the computer. It's screwing with them. It's kind of was a sabotage thing. Basically, somebody sabotaged the computer, and it blew an airlock, so that everybody kind of that was blown into space from the original segment, and it kind of just as it was just kind of that's what it was designed to do. It was designed to kill people, and when they connected this thing to the station, it basically started to try to kill everybody on that one as well, and it's actually kind of creepy because it's an algorithm based on learning. It's a learning algorithm. It learns how to kill people. This particular thing. However, in order to save, basically the main character has just been very lucky because every single time she's been saved by the antivirus software. That's all it is. She just keeps getting saved by the antivirus software. Part of it was a patch from the old computer that basically connected to the new computer in the new module in the entire space station. And essentially what's happening is that the patch was actually written by her mother or father that was in that thing, because they were the main computer science person. They're basically the main IT guy or girl. Again, I can't remember if it was the mother or father. I want to say mother, but I'm not sure. And they were trying to fight the computer in the first place, but they failed, obviously, and there's this whole thing. It's just some amazing luck. So yeah, that's basically it. It's not ghosts. It's actually just a virus that basically tries to kill everybody. A computer virus that tries to kill everybody really subtly to make it look like accidents. That's its main goal. Or like somebody was trying to kill them. So yeah. I remember I wrote this thing where it basically likes to trap people, because that's what it was lots. Like there was a thing where it actually tried to make the ring of the space station explode by there's a rotating ring where they sleep and where they exercise and stuff like that. There's a few of them. And they're test beds for Mars missions and all that stuff. It doesn't matter, it's not important. But essentially, one of them, the gravity increases because it starts spinning really quickly, to the point where it actually cracks some people's ribs because they're stuck in the rotating. Yeah, and they say it basically, if they didn't shut it down, then it would have just exploded because it would have just spun itself apart. But yeah, I did bunches of researches, some really gory ways, on some annoyingly gross graphic ways in which people could die, including explosive decompression. And I'm talking actual explosive decompression. I saw some really not good photos, which I'm trying to erase on my head, of the remains of some divers who basically were put into extreme Earth atmosphere, because they were basically trying to they had been in deep sea water, taken to the surface, put in a pressurized tank so that they could not get the bends, and basically there was an accident and it basically knocked off one of the pipes on the side of the container, and essentially what happened was all of the pressure in that room tried to get out of this one little pipe, and one of them basically, his insides just like, he died from extreme bleeding. He was dead. He was just super dead, from like super low pressure in his veins to being super high pressure in his veins. And the other guy was basically, even though it's only a tube about this big, his body was found in it. And I saw those photos, so that's great. Because I was looking at explosive decompression for one of the deaths. So yeah, there's this whole big thing. the computer really did go out of its way to try to murder these people, and it was just so bad. But like I said, I didn't really finish it. I can't remember exactly where I was going with it. They were going to have this realization, and then see, I don't know where this went. I basically just stopped. They were going to have this realization, and then like either 1 or 2 or 3 people out of a crew of like 20, basically, were going to make it home. You know, so. Yeah, but like I said, that story is never gonna come out, probably. Especially since you know, you know, when you basically don't finish it. I don't know if anybody else has had this. Has anybody had this where they don't finish an idea? You know, they have an idea and then basically, like I had an idea a while ago of taking a train journey around the coasts of the UK and writing a book about all of the places along the coast of England, via train. I had this idea. It was going to be my retirement idea. I had this in like college. I had this in the hospital when I had my accident. So we're talking at least 10 years ago. I had this idea. 5 years ago, I was watching TV, and this woman had already done it. There was a TV show, basically. I was watching a TV show that was based on her book that she. Well, that's what happens with this story. Basically, every time I watched sci-fi, I kept noticing things that were happening in this show, in whatever I was watching, happening as I'd written it. It was annoying. The last time it happened was in The Expanse. So I'm just remembering I actually read a book where somebody explained that something hits the moon's surface. There's a moon base on the moon, and something in this book that I read, something hits the moon's surface and they see it from inside of their moon base. Somebody sees this thing hitting the moon, and they were describing in great detail how basically how dust acts very much more like a liquid than it does a, you know, a cloud, like a dust cloud. Basically, you can't get dust clouds on the moon because they dissipate incredibly quickly because there's no air for dust to float in. It basically, something hits it, it kind of makes a splash, and then it all dissipates really quickly. It acts very much like a fluid. Well, I was going to say fluid, but that's also, you can argue that air is a fluid, or it is a fluid, but in science. But yeah, without air resistance, it just floats. I've written that. That's part of a bit in my book. That's part of research that I've done for my book. So yeah, I was really annoyed about that. So yeah. Right. Does anybody want to say anything to me that I can answer in the next 5 minutes? Because I am going to go because I haven't got anything to drink here, and my glass is empty. I've got beer, but that's it. So I'm going to play on the computer for a little bit. I'm going to get a drink, and then I'm going to play on the computer for a bit. FMF, have you been listening to everything I have said? Well, I wasn't thinking of you specifically. I was just about to say, though, that all of the ideas that I've just mentioned, all of this story, is completely public domain now. I've given up the rights to it a long time ago. And like I said, I keep seeing elements of my story in other things anyway. Again, FMF, I'm not aiming this at you. But hell, if you want to write it, that would be awesome, actually. Yeah. Oh, what is fucking mosquito bite? I kind of wanted to know what you thought about any of this, but it has been a bit too hot to think. I'm actually going to turn that on if I come back in here. Well, when I come back in here after getting a drink. Anyway, I really enjoyed this, Tubbs. Enjoy your morning, and here's many more hugs. Yep. Tomorrow, I do not know when I'm live streaming because I've got a appointment. Just an online meeting. But I will be streaming a little bit after that. I don't know when the appointment is. It's around about 8 or 9. You know? So should be around about 10 or 11 either side. So kind of about the same time. Maybe a bit later. I will explain to them that I basically have a different meeting to go to, but yeah, I should have something to show you guys. So yeah, plus hopefully the testing of the funnel with ice cream. Maybe it depends if we go out again, if they've got ice cream or not. So yeah. Anyway, guys, if I do write it, I'm going to put you on. Honestly, I don't care as long as you tell me you're doing it. That'll be great, actually. That kind of goes for anybody. I don't mind giving up co-authorship as long as like you tell me that you're going to use any of these ideas, because yeah, I haven't told you all of the ideas. I've only told you some. I think I've only told you about 2 of the deaths. But yeah, belly rubs, guys, and belly sleep. And I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Can't tuck this in ever. You know, I don't have to use any of these ideas at all. They're just thoughts. By the way, the Russian bear inflation bit, that was kind of, I left it kind of ambiguous if that was the computer that set that up or not, because the computer obviously can predict if he would actually sneak a beer onto the spacecraft. Doesn't matter. Toodles.